Hello everybody. I've already dealt with the law in relation to associations on my YouTube channel, and I am sure that a lot of people would like an update in relation to Moroccan Animal Aid. If I can just recap and stress that I'm dealing with the legal issues arising out of this particular association. You may remember that the two founders, one was from France, one was from Australia, were both deported by the Moroccan government last year. And they left behind many animals, dogs, cats, and equines, and were claiming from abroad that they still had responsibility for these animals and wanted to continue the charitable work in Morocco. And of course, that gave rise to a lot of legal issues. And people like me will be blamed for attempting to undermine them. Whereas I emphasize again, you have to look at what the law is in Morocco. Now, Moroccan Animal Aid was eventually registered as an association in the area in which they were operating, south of Agadir, on the coast down there. And after they were deported, the association was dissolved by the Moroccan trustees, and any outstanding money in the bank was used to pay off any debts. The reality is that Moroccan Animal Aid are still claiming that they exist, and they've set up in France another charity called Mektab. I think they had Mektab in Morocco as well. But they say that is a properly registered charity, and they still want to help the animals in Morocco. However laudable that might be, I think you have to go behind what appears to be the truth a little. Let's look at it this way. The association doesn't exist. The two founders who claim to be running Moroccan Animal Aid now have been deported, and it's been made very clear they will not be permitted to return to Morocco. And they are constantly, they're claiming every day, they're asking for donations to keep their animals in Morocco. So, back to basic principles. I guess I was told there are about 40 equines and about 600 dogs. If those are not within the remit of an association anymore, they must be privately owned, and who owns them? They are claiming that if they pay rent on land from abroad and they pay to a landlord who's prepared to have the animals there, that is legitimate. Of course it isn't. Because if you're not an association, the sad truth is the number of animals that you can keep is very limited. And they're certainly out with the law in relation to the animals they claim that they are supporting and constantly asking donations for. They say they have a good team, but you will remember, as I have said before, that we had access to photographs and videos that were utterly shocking, absolutely shocking. And anyone who allowed that sort of, and I will call it abuse, to take place on their patch under no circumstances should be allowed to run another animal rescue in Morocco. So why are they wanting to do it? We went to the authorities locally, and we were told categorically that if we were able to find somewhere to take all the animals, if they could all be removed on one day, we would have support from the authorities and from the gendarmerie. And as I've told you before, the Monday we went down to see the local officials, they couldn't be found anywhere. And that's when even worse matters started to unfold, because local people I talked to said that there had been corruption in that part of the world. Now, if there has or if there hasn't isn't really a matter for me now, but it is quite clear that if we are ever going to get those animals out, we have to go back to the government and have government support to do it. And why that is so important at the moment is that if people who are not connected with Morocco, in fact have been deported, continue to say, you know, how badly animals are treated in Morocco and only they can save them, or that's the sort of image that's almost given, that reflects very badly on Morocco. Morocco, who is trying to put its house in order over animal welfare. There will be new laws introduced next year, and many people who live here behind the scenes have been involved in that. FIFA's coming up. There's an outrage over dogs being killed, and rightly so. And really, the Moroccan government needs this business around Moroccan animal aid resolved once and for all. So why do they want to do it? Why don't they set up and look after dogs in France or Australia? And what I'm told by local people is that they were able to raise so much money through social media, and it didn't all come through proper channels into Morocco. If the way they were working, if they continue to work in that way, they are bringing in donations the whole time. And of course, it isn't regulated. No one knows exactly where those donations are going. They're constantly saying the animals need food. They say they have a staff team. That's questionable because I have contact with a lot of the staff. So I'm coming here today to tell you it has not gone away. We still are prepared to take the 40 equines, and we are in the process of building fresh accommodation, new stables, proper stables. Rescued horses, you just can't put them under bamboo shelters. That really isn't sufficient. And we are so grateful. When I say we, Georgia is so grateful for the donations that have been made through the GoFundMe that was set up. Now, on social media, I will talk a little more about the animals' needs, their state, and what we plan to do. But I feel that it was right to update you on YouTube now to spell out again what the law actually is. To sum up, I would not be allowed to do the work I'm doing unless we were properly registered here, unless we sent our returns every month to the government so they know exactly what we're doing, that we have trustees who are involved and know what's happening, and we have staff who are treated properly and paid. I think it's quite important to note that ever since 2014, when we established ourselves here, every member of staff has been paid every single week. We have not defaulted on a single payment. That is why we were able to build a good team that cared about the animals and they felt invested in what is happening. An application has been made, both by me and by somebody else, to the court in Agadir. And unfortunately, the court didn't consider that our application to take the animals out was an emergency and it would have to go through the normal channels. That can take months. And that says to me really about how the courts and some of the authorities care for the welfare of animals, because there are animals in quite a deplorable state, I am told. But again, when I have more information, I will update you, and we are not giving up under any circumstances. We're concerned about Morocco, animal welfare in Morocco, and helping and supporting properly registered charities. Bye for now.